Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Dannyvandam, and today I'm going to be bringing you a top 5 list on how to improve on WWE 2K17. Now, keep in mind that most of these tips concentrate on PvP more than MyCareer and Exhibition, but in general, I feel as if this would just make you a better player for when you play with your friends or online. A quick disclaimer, I am not the ultimate John Cena who beats every single person online who I go against, except I do feel as if I'm good enough to shed some light on this subject, and this video is just to help anyone improve. If it doesn't help you improve, then fair enough, except this is just my personal top 5 stuff that's helped me get better at WWE 2K17. Number 5 is going to sound really stupid, except you'd be surprised at how many times I fell for this, and I wish I was doing this in the past. Number 5 is just being aware. Yeah, as simple as that. You need to be aware of what character your opponent is using and the skills and abilities that character has. For example, if your opponent has a catching finisher, you'll know not to sprint at them or jump at them from the top rope to prevent him from catching you out and capitalizing on that situation and possibly winning the match. This also goes for learning if they have resiliency or outside dives, etc, etc. Number 4 is being greedy. Countless times I've risked the whole match just to see another OMG moment that looks flashy, yet it doesn't actually help us win the match anymore. Most times it actually makes us lose because of a wasted finisher that could have been used on resiliency later. This also leads on to using resiliency at appropriate times. I can't count how many times I've waited too long to use this and ended up losing because I wanted a better resiliency opportunity. If a kick out gives you problems by the count of 2, don't try and kick out manually anymore. Use resiliency so it serves its purpose and you can actually possibly save yourself from another loss. Number 3, taunting. Taunting was changed coming into WWE 2K17, so you can't spam taunts for momentum and finishers, but you still can abuse them. Pushing left on the D-pad will activate a crowd taunt, allowing you to gain more momentum for a certain period of time, which, if used correctly, you can gain multiple finishers before your opponent even has one. If you press right on the D-pad, you will inflict more damage on your opponent for a certain period of time, which is great for using if you want his body parts red for easier submissions or easier pinfalls in the future. Finally, if you press up on the D-pad, you will do a wake-up taunt, locking your opponent in an animation where he will stand up to his feet dazed. This is perfectly, if abused right, for stalling time and gaining reversals back and getting the upper hand on your opponent if done correctly. Number 2 is one of the most important that also ties into number 1. Which is always keeping 2 reversals in the later stages of the game, if not at all times. I can't stress how important it is to have 2 reversals at all times to hit the new major reversals that have been implemented in a WWE 2K17. If you hit this on your opponent, he will not be able to reverse for a certain period of time, allowing you to take a huge advantage in the match, or even hit him with your finisher there and then, taking the victory. Finally, we are at number 1. It's a little bit dirty, it's a little bit crafty, but if you nail this technique, it could be one of the best tips you've ever been given. And that is reversal baiting. Now, if you don't know what this is, then it's basically when you strike your opponent intentionally when he's on the ground in hopes that he uses last reversals to roll out the way. But the reason this works so well in the game is because if he decides to use his last reversal in the game and roll out of the way, the animation that has been put in the game to roll out the way of your strike is very, very slow, allowing you to capitalize on his rollout, putting him back down to the ground with 0 reversals, which allows you to pick him up, hit your finisher there and then, and finally pin him. This also works on wake-up taunts and charge finishers, but this technique is 10 times harder than the first one. First of all, you'll have to use a wake-up taunt or a charged finisher to get your opponent to the feet. If you're using a charged finisher, make sure you hit the L1 or LB button to cancel the finisher animation. Then, you want to fake him out with a strike, in which he will use his last reversal to reverse that strike. This is where you will be required to reverse his next move to get the upper hand. Once you have reversed his next move, then you will be free to do whatever with your finisher and he will have 0 reversals, allowing you to hit your finisher and win the game. If you liked the video and the tips did help, make sure you hit that like button down below, and I have a WWE 2K17 MyCareer series going on currently on my channel. If you want to check out that, I will leave a video on screen, but that's all for now. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I've been Dannyvandam and goodbye.